an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now, come on now.
Welcome to another episode of Never Date Just One, sis. It is your host, Arthur China T, Coach Erica, and it has been a journey. We have had some great episodes dropped in January. We got a new channel, Clean Your Dating Habits Up, and this is where this video is going to go today. Now, let's talk about some changes overall on the channel. I would have loved to further complete the Never Date Just One journey with you, ladies. However, if you are unable to just get one man to ask you on a date because of your bad dating habits, then it's going to be clearly impossible for me to completely teach you how to be able to operate a roster. I've seen a lot of comments from guys who are mad, coming to the channel upset that I am trying to teach you all how to be able to vet men properly by dating multiple men at one time. Some of their comments were very rude, which they would get deleted and they would be muted from the channel. I'm going to just go to show you, ladies, that men don't care if you don't have options. They want you to make them your only option, while they too have their multiple options. I had one guy says, "Oh, stop this crap. I'm hoping my daughter gets married. If she doesn't get married, it's strictly going to be because of the way her mom and her dad raised her. Because most men and women don't know how to teach their children how to date properly because they're so used to investing in one person at a time." So with that being said, that's why the comments have been turned off, to prevent these angry male watchers from commenting such derogatory comments. And listen, my channel views haven't surpassed or gotten to the level of Shira, so I get to read every comment, everything that you put. And while you are entitled to your opinion is based on worthless shit, because you sir don't even know how to date. That's why you keep putting all your eggs in one basket, and you keep getting played by the women who keep playing you, or end up marrying somebody who was your last option, not your first option, because the only people who you have access to is the one that's on the same vibration as you. And so a lot of men are in marriages with women that was their only option, or the last person left that was going to take all a mess. So they get mad when I tell y'all how to vet men, multiple men, because everybody, for some reasons, including a lot of women, keep equating dating with sex. And because you all keep involving your bodies, you're consistently getting the results that you don't want. And unfortunately, you're not able to get to the part where you can date multiple men, because in your mind, you think you have to have sex with multiple men. I can't change that. Only you can change how you think. Therefore, that you can change the reality in your life. But until that time, again, Never Date Just One. If you got your copy of the book, great. Hopefully you went through it. Even if you've got your copy of Play Your Position, sis, hopefully you read and see how Shantae was able to apply that book to her dating life to get the results. If you did not get Play Your Position, sis, then that's probably why you don't know how to properly operate your roster. You have not stepped back into your feminine energy. You have not done any healing. You haven't done your needs assessment. You haven't done your self-evaluation, and you haven't done your relationship evaluation. Those are things that are very important. I did see what one viewer said, that the printer was taking forever to send her book. Since it's coming directly from the printer, it does take a little bit longer. However, it's not taking as long as she stated it would, because I put an order in probably maybe about a week and a half ago, from somebody who I'm going to do a podcast interview with, 2 people actually. And I was able to get an email saying that their book shipped within a record amount of time. So I'm really not sure what happened with those orders of you all saying that you ordered the book and couldn't get it. I did ask you all to go and purchase Play Your Position, sis, from my website, so I can directly ship to you, because I did get an order of those, but you all didn't do it, so it is what it is. But right now, I want to go ahead and make sure that we understand that the probability of any videos being recorded in February is very low. I can't continue to teach you how to properly date, whether you're going to roster date or do it one at a time, if you're not, for one, getting asked on dates, and for 2, still swimming with sharks. So if you're still out there swimming with the sharks and your vibrations are still low, it's almost as if I'm just talking to the wall. And unfortunately, I know this wall is not going to change or do anything different. So It's redundant. And besides, you all have Mother Shearer. You listen to everything she says. You take and run with everything that she's saying. So hopefully she's going to be able to tell you how to properly date, as opposed to going out there trying to use men for money or trying to use men for assets that you yourself can't even provide yourself. So I don't know how you expect to attract somebody who can bring that into your life when you're not able to provide, unless you are willing to go get with a man who is almost near death, which I can't even stomach, or somebody who is completely, I don't know, just simpish, you know how they call it. I really don't know. I was trying to get you to attract people of the same energy, but you know, you all are gonna get your lessons from where you want to get them from, and I'm not gonna stand in the way anymore. So now let's talk about today. My initial video on body count was talking about how the men who bring up body count were the ones who were upset about not being in the body count. And then I had to, as the weeks went by, I had to further do some more investigations, ask some more questions of different types of men from different type of areas. And I got a lot more for this body count conversation. So the first video, I'm going to put parts of it up, but it's not going to be what this video is. They got y'all believing that the body count is something they must know, and your body count must be low. It's all lies. Because we know the only people who are worried about the body count are the ones who are not in the count. So those are the only ones who are bringing up body count, is a men who could never have made the count, wasn't even given the opportunity. Now, there are men out here who are claiming that they want virgins, okay? Well, we know why, because they must have saw the body count of their mothers, and that's what they're trying to get away from, because they never saw her love correctly, but they did see her have multiple men in and out of their homes, okay? If they even had their mother there, a lot of them have issues where their mother wasn't there and they was raised by a grandmother or an aunt. So of course the body count would matter to them, because all they know is their mama was out on drugs, being a whore, or whatever the case is. That's why the body count comes up for them. This video is going to go into a different aspect of the body count, which I totally understand better now since I had to do more research. So let me just start and say, men that do care about your body count are the men who are mad they are not in the body count. And they are not in the body count for several reasons. These are the men that are not your type. These are the men that haven't done anything to deserve your body. These are the men that just only want to lay down and screw you, and you was able to pick up on that energy early so you did not fall for it. They're going to be the ones that are going to always call out your body count. They're going to call you a hoe. They're going to make you try to feel bad because you've been with more than one person. It is a subset of men that strictly thinks that for some reason that they will know your actual body count, although you haven't told them. So let's disregard them. This video is not about those low level, low vibration men. They're basically in nobody's body count, and they're mad about that because a lot of bad bitches body counts they want to be in, they can't get in. So that's when they bring up body count, they're usually directing that towards the ones who call themselves bad bitches, like Drea or Diamond the Body. They're mad because they're not in those girls' body count, so they're going to call them all out their name. Let's talk about you. There is another subset of men who do care about the body count, and the reason why they care about the body count is not necessarily the count itself. Because honestly, a man will never know the actual body count of any woman that he is with. He has not been with her every moment or every second of her life. He's not been with her every time she's laid down in the bed. Now, for you women who do have children with multiple baby daddies, you already letting somebody know your body count right there. So if you have 5 children and you had 4 baby daddies, that's gonna be a telltale sign of your body count, which is why I tell y'all not to bring up that y'all have children. And if you are gonna bring up those children, you at least want to tell them that those children came from the same men. You don't want to be specifying baby daddies, because again, while you don't think that you're being judged, if you're trying to date, you very well are, and you can tell that by the 20 questions clips that you can see on Facebook or over on TikTok. Well, one guy asked a lady, did she have a baby daddy? She says, did she have children? She said, yes, she has 1 child and 1 baby daddy. And he was almost holding his breath if he was for them moving before. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So your children itself is an indication of your body count. Okay. So let that be known right then and there, and don't take offense to it. It's just, it is what it is. Now, for the women who don't have children, like myself, it is going to be virtually hard for anybody to ever say that your body count is high. It's going to be virtually hard for anybody to ever say that you're not a virgin, because you don't have the things that will give off to you not being a virgin, or for you having a high body count. And children is the one thing that can attribute to people trying to calculate up what your life has, okay? But I'm talking about the men that specifically keep talking about body count matters. Not the ones that were mad they was not in the count. I'm talking about the ones who literally want to say that as a problem. And listen, ladies, after I did ask more questions of guys in different places in their life, it wasn't necessarily the count. It was who you had in the count. And let me explain. I've always told y'all that too many of y'all talk too much. Y'all can't wait to talk about how the last man did you, how they broke you, how they used you, and all this stuff, and then you'll talk about the boyfriends before that. This is what I mean when the men say body count, because they're trying to figure out, if those guys were so bad and did all of those things, how did they even end up in the count? How did you consistently give your body to this type of man if now you're looking for this type of man to take you serious? Why was you giving your body to the man that you says that you're trying to get away from? And then it's multiple men. So y'all, ladies, sis, sometimes y'all just talk too much. I want everybody to know every aspects of y'all life, from your relationships to your dating. And I don't understand why that's a topic. The only thing that needs to be discussed is moving forward, the present, moving forward, what you're doing now, not what came before them. Now, in terms of what came before them, you definitely want to let them know that your STD panel is clean, your HIV panel is clean, your vagina doesn't have any lingering yeast infections, BVs or trichomoniasis. You definitely want to let them know that the panel of health is clean, because these are the things that come from sex with the wrong partners, okay? So that is the only thing that you need to be bringing up at any point in the conversation, whether you're on the first date or the fifth date. You need to make sure that you're clean. And if you want to provide your results, you can go ahead. Do I advise you to provide your results unless this person you're getting married to, or unless you're planning on having unprotected sex with this person? Your results are your business. You have people like me who was in marriage that still use condoms. Condoms are not 100% guaranteed, but before I put my life on the line for somebody who claim they love me, we're going to just use a condom. So, and when we use condoms, I'm not asking you about your history or where you've been or anything like that, because if you don't have a topical STD infection like herpes or genital warts or anything like that, you're not going to pass that to me, and I'm going to be very well inspecting you, okay? And definitely when it comes to eating, that's why they have things called dental dams that y'all don't like to use. But when it comes to the panel being clean and things of that nature, you definitely want to put that out there so people can know, that you are a clean woman. But in terms of the count, again, the only person who will truly know your body count is you. You're going to know how many people you slept with in your life. And that is not a conversation that you should ever be giving a man at any time in your life, because you don't want somebody who doesn't know you or doesn't understand that the reason why this count is this way was because this is where you were in your life, whether you was charging men or not, whether your self-esteem or low. That is not their business. That is only your business. All they need to know is that your STD panel is clean. For the men who keep bringing it up, it is because they're trying to figure out, how did Terrell, David, Juju, and Pookie, 4 guys who did you wrong, who used you, who did not have any money, who didn't do anything valuable for you, how did those 4 guys get into your body count? And then you did it within 1 year. So you was messing with Juju at the top of the year. You messed with him probably from January to maybe by mid-April. Mid-April, you and Juju were over. By the time the top of May came, you had to met Terrell. Now you and Terrell in cahoots. You and Terrell done been involved maybe 2 to 3 months, maybe 4 at best. And next you know, that blows over. You're no longer with Terrell. And then the next person who comes in after that, because you're not properly healing that interrelationship trauma, the next person who comes in after that is now David. David comes in and you probably give David about a good 5 months. But you don't end the year with David. You end the year with the last person, Damien. I don't even know if that's a name I said, but whatever. The last person, Damien. And he could be just a November, December fling. And then by January of next year come in, you're not talking to him. See, that is where your body count comes into play. Because first of all, how did you allow 4 different men within 1 year to get inside of your temple, and neither one of them fulfilled your needs, did anything for you that made them valuable, that made them wanting of your body. You weren't valuable to any one of them. They were making use of you. How did you allow 4 different men, same men, because I want to make sure it was the 4 different men who have the same intentions to come in, lay you down, get you in a bed, and have sex with you, and then get out of there, not even 6 months later? This is where the body count issue comes in at, because again, when I say y'all talk too much, y'all do. Y'all can't wait to tell everybody how you was hurt. You can't wait to tell everybody how you was did wrong. Instead of you keeping that stuff to you in a diary, you'll even tell your homegirls. And when you fall out with them, then they telling all your business to the current boyfriend or to whoever the case is, and you trying to wonder why they went, because you don't know how to keep your business to yourself. If you was going to allow that many men inside of your body, inside of your space in 1 year, why would you want anybody to know anything about those guys? Y'all can't wait to post pictures on social media. You can't wait to tell somebody. You can't wait to do all of the things that get you judged at the end of the day, because 1 year has went by and you have let 4 Pookies, 4 Ray Rays, 4 Dusties into your body, into your space. And now at the end of the year, you are by yourself. Don't bring in a new year with nobody who you've been with through that year. Can't call none of those guys that you've been with for them to be there for you. And you got to start a whole new year all over again with nobody and trying to repeat this cycle. This is why the body count is an issue. You're not going to wake up one day and say, okay, well, you know what? Today I want to go and get me a different type of guy. I want to go get me somebody who has a great job. He has a 401k. You just finished messing with 3 different dudes from the previous year. None of them had employment. One of them was selling drugs. One of them was a scammer, and the other one was just a bum. Now all of a sudden this year you want a guy that is completely different from that guy. This is why this guy can't take you serious. How did you let 3 guys who have nothing going on enter your temple, come into your body, enter your home? You fed them, you did all of these things with them, and now on this year over here you want something completely different, something that you've never had, and obviously you may not even know how to maintain because you've never had it. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what a disconnect comes in at, ladies? I need y'all to understand, because I'm not saying I'm perfect. But at the end of the year, y'all always say once the clock strikes 12 and it goes to January 1st, that's not even a real New Year. The New Year is in the spring. But my New Year only starts at my birthday. I don't even consider January 1st a New Year. I don't even consider what goes on in the spring. I consider every year when my birthday comes, a new birthday about to come in. That's my New Year. That's the only time I consider my year to start over, because I get another year at life. Okay. So with that being said, but you reset your clocks at midnight on 1/1 of the new year. And it's almost like you want to accept everything that came before. But within that year, you had several different ninjas that came in and did you any kind of way. And you can't wait to get on social media and to say, well, when it strikes 12, the body count is back to 0. For what, another year? For you to allow another group of garbage to come in and do the same way the last group did? Because what you did not do is heal any of those interrelationship traumas that you sustained, whether you was treated on, whether you was used for your money, whether you was used for sex, whether you was talked to any kind of way, whatever happened that made those things in with those previous guys, you never healed that interrelationship trauma. All you did was move up under the next guy and try to hope that you can heal yourself under the next guy, and all it does is compound more pain on you. You have took 4 different situations of 4 different reasons why y'all broke up and 4 different upsets with you into the next year, and you want to jump on the next man. You have not healed anything, and this is not going to last long either. Why do y'all do that? Because if you learn how to date, listen to me, it's not sex. Dating isn't sex. If you learn how to date, if those 4 guys that you slept with would have been 4 guys that you was dating throughout last year, and they all dwindled down to by the end of the year, none was left, but you did not give your body to any of them, that is when you can reset and start it again in the new year. But there is no reset when you have given your body to 4 different individuals, and all of them have given you the same game, same mess, same nothing going forward. And here you are again, resetting the clocks and can't wait to find a new penis to get on in the new year. That is not how you reset, ladies. And y'all have been taught wrong. I don't know what y'all are looking at. I don't know why y'all keep reading those books full of trauma when those women keep going through that, which is why I told y'all to change up y'all reading. Because the more trauma you read, the more you bring it into your life. I think that y'all think that everything that I'm telling y'all is so completely wrong when you're not getting the results that you keep looking for because you're the problem. And it's always going to be you as the problem. You don't get to reset your body count just because none of the guys that you talked to the previous year want to be bothered with you for the next year. That's not a reset. They stop dealing with you or you stop dealing with them. There is no reset. It's just cycle keeps going. And when I say the cycle keeps going, because you are still the same hurt person that attracted those first 4 Neanderthals, you're going to attract another group of them in the new year. You didn't heal. You didn't sit down and say, you know what, let me just sit down and evaluate relationship evaluation. Let me just evaluate these relationships that I was in, these dealings. First of all, were they relationships? Was I the only person who considered myself to be a girlfriend? Did he consider himself to be my boyfriend? Or was I just a fling from him for something to do for the time? Let me evaluate that. Y'all don't do that. Second of all, you don't say, okay, let's talk about why it ended. Well, it ended because of this reason. Where was I when it ended? Okay. Another thing y'all to talk about, okay, let me just talk about what attracted me to him. What was it about him that attracted me to him? You don't go into detail about that. And then you don't also talk about, okay, well, were our visions and goals aligned? Did this person add value to my life? Because you don't have none of that sit down, written down for you to sift through so you can say, okay, you know what? It's not them. It's me. After doing an evaluation, I see that the last 4 guys did the same things to me that either the previous guy did. So that means they're not the problem. I'm the problem. So instead of me trying to find somebody else to crawl up on her really quick because I can't wait to have sex, let me try to heal whatever this is right here that keeps attracting this energy to me. And in me healing, I'm trying to raise my vibration so I never attract that type of energy again. I had a fall. I made some mistakes. You can make those mistakes, sis. I want you to make those mistakes because it's going to help you decide what you need, know what you want, and what you want to tolerate. So you need those mistakes. But you can't keep making those mistakes year in and year out. That is how the body counts builds up. And again, the men are trying to understand what by the time you get to somebody who is of better value, who comes from a better background, who has better intentions for you, how did you allow these group of men over here who have nothing going on to enter your temple, and all of a sudden you want me to come in and love you past that? It's not fair. It's not fair. And you women would do the same things. When a man comes and tell you that he was just with Tisha and Keisha. Tisha had 2 kids. Keisha had 5 kids. Then he had Rhonda. She didn't have no kids. And but all of them lived in the ghetto. Or all of them had jobs that they got an hourly wage. Or all of them was on food stamps. So they was on benefits. None of them had cars. You trying to understand how is he coming over there to you now, who you worked at your job for the last 10 years. You make over $50,000 in salary or whatever the case is. And he's not using nobody about you. You're going to judge him based on who he was with prior to you. So much so that you're going to be, whenever y'all get into an argument, you're going to say, you can run back to your little girlfriend, Keisha, because she'll deal with that. Don't tell me you don't, because you know you do. Y'all hold y'all accountable a lot, because I'm not finna make y'all feel like y'all not the problem. Sometimes you very well are the problem. So I hold y'all accountable way more than any other dating coach on the internet, because they like to tell y'all what y'all should do. And one thing they don't make y'all do is they don't make y'all take accountability for the choice that you made, who you allowed into your life, and the things that you did on your part. So I'm making you take accountability. You definitely will judge him based on who he had before you. You do it all the time. So why can't he judge you based on who you had before him? Because he's a different version of those guys. And he may have first seen you, and the attraction may have been physical in the beginning. But once he started talking to you and seeing where your mind was and all of that things, this is why they fade to the black. And you wonder what, but they've already effed the dog mess out of you, and they still fade to the black, because in the process of them getting you to that bed, for one, and see how easy it was, all they had to do was either spend a certain amount of money or tell you a certain amount of good things, and you was able to get them to bed. But then even after they got you into bed, they've been listening to what you've been saying. All you do is complain about who did you dirty, but you never talk about how you resolve that so that you could be a better person moving forward. You talk about your accomplishments. You can't wait to tell people that you've been to college and you make this much money. But you're not telling them how you can nurture a man. How you can love, how you overlove yourself enough so that a man can see you doing it to yourself, he can do it to you. You don't talk about those things, but you talk about irrelevant, you want to go to irrelevant topics, irrelevant discussions, mad because somebody cheated on you. When I tell people all the time, it is impossible, and I don't care what y'all say, because in order for you to feel like me, you have to have been married. There is no way that you can cheat on somebody who you was boyfriend, girlfriend with. The N word there was friend. You all were friends. Advanced connections that led to sex, that led to you being with them for maybe 6 months, a year, or however it is. But as long as you were not a wife, as long as you were not a husband, it is impossible to cheat on you. Cheating came with vows. And a lot of times y'all entering unions where you never even sat down and had a monogamous conversation, where you never even told your partner, okay, this is my expectations. I expect that when we start having sex with one another, not after you've started, when we start having sex with one another, it's just me and you. Can you give me that? For that man to either say, well, honestly, I can't give you that, but I'll try. Or yeah, I can give you that. If and maybe not give it to you. If you've had a monogamous conversation and 97% of y'all don't even know what your expectations are. So I know we're not having this conversation. If you had a monogamous conversation and you all had vowed to one another as boyfriend and girlfriend that y'all would be faithful, then that is different. But to expect somebody to be faithful to you just because you gave them a title of boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever it is, that's a low grade, low vibration expectation, because you're expecting a friend to be loyal to you when people aren't even loyal to themselves. Now, when we talk about marriage, that's different, because there is a set of vows that each participant agreed to, whether they went to the courthouse, whether they did it in front of a priest in a church, and when I say in front of a priest in a church, in front of all of their family and friends. They vowed to be faithful. That's completely different. There was now a covenant there, an agreement that is literally, as soon as they sign that line and say that they're husband and wife, it is literally there to say that this is what they're going to do for one another. They're going to practice being faithful and no infidelity. There was a covenant that none of you have as girlfriends and boyfriends. So for you to go out there and say somebody cheated on you, which has always been ludicrous to me, because again, how is a friend cheating on you when you've cheated yourself, even thinking that this friend owed you that loyalty? You should have just been loyal to yourself. But if you get away from, that's why I told y'all to get away from the girlfriend and boyfriend titles, extract them, because you're never going to get husband and wife things with that. And simply date. Date until it moves into courtship. When you start courting, sit down and say, hey, these are my expectations. Since we're going to be courting one another seriously, and it's going to be me and you, I expect it to just be me. And once we start having sex, because sex has not gotten involved. Once we start having sex, I expect it to just be me and you. Okay, and we're going to use condoms while we're having sex. We're not going to get to the point where after a month of us talking, or after a week, and I feel like I can trust you, the condom is coming off, because that's when y'all definitely get y'all feelings involved and y'all miss all type of stuff. Because now, not only have you caught a body, but you have caught an unprotected body. And y'all will go with that, because a lot of y'all give yourselves up freely with no protection to these guys. I don't understand why. Because the most precious part of your body is your vagina. So if you allow multiple men to feel it without a condom, what type of valuable woman can you be to your husband? If he can say, dang, my wife done been with 5 different men and all of them didn't have sex with her without a condom. So everybody know how she feel. He doesn't have anything to brag about, because you've done it so often, which is why I tell y'all it's not about the actual body count. It's about who you allow in that body count. And if you allow scum in that body count, how did you get to the point where you had sex and you made children with this scum if you did not like anything this scum presented? It's a different set of eyes looking at you now, because now they're trying to figure out, well, how can they be able to get over on you too? Not how can they love you past the pain? Absolutely not. You didn't want to be loved from what you've told them, from what they can see. You didn't want to be loved. You want to be fucked. And they want to be able to give you the latter, not the first part. Because if you loved yourself, you would not allow that many people in your body without protection, because you love yourself enough to know that that's a gift that only your husband should be able to feel when y'all are trying to make children. Ladies, the body count is important because of who you allowed in the count. Y'all want to talk so much about how people did y'all. And I'm trying to understand, if it was that bad, how did you continue to have sex with them? And how did you have sex with them without a condom if it was that bad? Whether you got the condom on or not, taking it off will not change anything if it's that bad. Continuing to have sex with them, if it's that bad, doesn't change anything. Again, you're going to be looked at with a different set of eyes. So, STD panel should be the topic of conversation. Are you clean in all aspects of your vaginal health? That's what you want to relay to your partners. And when you get to that point of sex, you have a list of expectations. When I start having sex with you, I expect it to be just me and you. If you cannot live up to that expectation, tell me now so that I can go and we can part ways no matter how long we've been dating. Because I don't want to be with a man that's not monogamous. And more importantly, the men who keep making it a big deal are the ones who are mad because they're not in account. So don't worry about them, sis, because they had no opportunity to even be in your account or be in nobody who they consider a bad bitch's count. All of you all are bad bitches. So it's a lot of people who should have never been inside of your bed or in your body, but they were. So moving forward, understand that if you want a man to not bring up your past, first of all, keep your mouth shut. Second of all, give off the illusion that everybody who you've ever been with treated you like a queen. So you're not looked at, man, she let him hit. You're not looked at like that, okay? And third of all, understand that if it was as bad as you said it was, how did they get inside of your body? With that being said, take what you need to take from this video. But understand, the only person who will truly know your body count is only you. If anybody else said they're going to know your body count, they're lying. Only you know that. But it is how you present yourself because of that body count. And if you have healed yourself throughout all that interrelationship trauma before you have moved on to another man. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is your host. I will see y'all later.